is being honored tonight. A recognition so deserved on so many levels. The arc of his accomplishments as a musician, songwriter, performer, producer, innovator is so vast, I could not possibly encapsulate them, so I'll take a personal route. Todd and I met in our early 20s. We were both from the Philadelphia area, the Runt and the Wallflower. I was working in a bookstore, writing poetry, and Todd was already quite accomplished at 22 years old, the head engineer at Bearsville Studios. I was allowed to sit in the studio while he worked on Stage Fright with the band. As his friend, I was privy to the stages of his work on his solo albums. Such a swift evolution from shimmering pop songs to soaring experimental pieces, and he was unflinching in the face of new technology. He would just bend it in his hands. Todd was our producer on my last album with the Patti Smith group. He would tell the band, if you know what you want, I will help you get it. If you don't know what you want, I'll do it for you. Todd and I had our own personal mantra, no grown-ups allowed, and that is Todd Rundgren, the Peter Pan prodigy, ever curious, ever youthful, ever defiant. He has been our alchemist, our wizard, our true star, and it is my privilege to welcome Todd Rundgren into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah!
Was this Enid, Oklahoma? Oh, I remember, it's Cleveland, Ohio! Somehow I get the feeling we've been here before. Hi, remember me? My name's Todd Rundgren, and the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s. Well, you're great tunes like this. Let's see if you remember this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's like this.
Just to survive and get the next hit. That really wasn't his North Star.
So many musicians are fucking bored. And he's, you know what they're gonna do. You never know what Todd's gonna do.
I decided early on that I wanted to be involved in the production side of records. I got out of high school, and a year later, I put together this band that got signed to one of these big mega deals. And after about 18 months of this, I just said, I don't want to really be in the music business so much as just producing records. So I got very much into the techniques and technology in the studio. But I was still writing. I wanted to get these ideas out of my system. I recorded Runt. And as it turned out, there was a minor hit single on it. That kind of sealed my fate. I had to continue making records.
You can be anywhere in the world. You don't even have to know what the words mean, and the songs still convey, just on pure melody alone.
I'd like you to meet my accompanist here. Hear the sounds of people scattered by the four winds to all corners of the earth, but I'm sure you'll recognize the intention. It goes like this.
The great irony of my career has been the fact that my biggest hits are sort of ballad side, on the soft side. although there was a lot of vocalization, it was always accompanied with a well-distorted guitar.
An example of the latest musical trend is called power pop.
Part of the personality of his music is that he's doing it all. He knows what he wants, and he knows how to get it.
You want things to come out a certain way, and instead of strangling the creativity out of another musician because you're so particular about it, you do it yourself, and that way it does become, in some ways, more expressive.
I started to see music as something different than what I had previously assumed. I had plumbed the broken relationship that I had in high school for 3 whole albums, and suddenly realized I didn't care about this girl anymore. And so I made this crazy record called Was It a True Star, in which I threw out all the rules of record making and decided that I would try to imprint as much as possible the chaos in my head right onto a record without trying to clean it up for everyone else's benefit.
I always had this feeling that he was a wizard, a true star, this kind of maker of magic.
The most phenomenal thing I've ever been associated with is Meatloaf. And when we were doing that, nobody would touch it.
I don't know if any other producer would have understood it. That's why we wanted Todd. Because when Todd comes in, he goes, oh, I understand.
The best thing about Todd is he's, besides being the only true genius I've met, he also is incredibly sarcastic. And what I love is he never once said anything complimentary about anything we did.
The record label had only that record, so they just kept releasing songs off of it. And finally one of them clicked, and when that one clicked, they just kept feeding what was an ever-expanding appetite for Meatloaf. Can we take a break, man?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There's never any guarantee that you will have a commercial success for a so-called hit single. If you compromised your approach and then it didn't become a hit record, then you failed twice. You know, you failed to satisfy yourself and you failed to make a hit out of it.
Mind of a child, leaving no stone unturned when it comes to his creativity and his output.
And you can't turn back. There is never any starting over. Parallel lines never to cross over. So I say to the gift, darling.
The ultimate realization of a musician's talent is the ability to wed lyrics and music in a way that makes them seem inseparable.
You saw the going so far away, but my dream lives on forever.
His songs will live on forever. Each one is a beautiful little work of art we'll want to share with each other and go back to again and again and again as needed.
He's one of the greats. He shines. He's unique. He's right there in the middle of it all, but yet outside of it. The man deserves to be in the top 10.
Out of everything, Todd's just a Philadelphian, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
personally. I've never been nominated for a Grammy. I've never been nominated, thankfully, for the Rock Hall of Fame. If nominated, I will not run, and if elected, I will not serve.
Here to pay tribute to early influencer Charlie Patton,